We're gonna get back to our NBA coverage, man. We got shout out to Trey for joining us. Bang, I saw the picture you sent in the chat. That's a hilarious picture. Is it back to normal now?
Now it's back to normal, but it was weird. I'm like, yo, why I got me looking like the Charles Barkley meme?
But yeah, shout out to Trey for joining us. Orlando says in the chat, Knicks better win game three, otherwise it might get spooky for the Knicks. Shout out everybody watching, and anybody who wants to support, leave a super chat. Let's see if we can get a couple of those going on, man. But let's talk about Jayson Tatum because I think it was my fault that I let Jayson Tatum off the hook. I was like, oh, he's playing well, he's playing confident, he's not going to be what he was last year, and that shit completely slapped me in the face. Because look at what he's doing now. It is completely ridiculous that they are even in this position. And I remember I was watching game two because game two was going on when I think what was I doing? Summer sessions. I was recording something. I think we were recording summer sessions. And I was like, yo, like this is not a what's the word I'm looking for? Impressive leader they got right now. Like I felt like they were gonna blow it again. And that's 100% what happened. There's so many different ways he plays that annoys me. I think what annoys me the most is he has the prototypical basketball body type. Pause. You know what I'm saying? He's tall, he can move, he can shoot, but he just does dumb stuff and has the basketball IQ of a child. Like there was so many times when you saw when he could have went to the basket, he's settling for jump shots, settling for threes. That whole entire team just shoots way too many threes. Like you shouldn't be missing. You shouldn't be shooting 45, let alone missing 45. Like that just doesn't make any sense. And I feel like we're back to the reason of he's just not that guy. He's a very talented player. Can't lie and say he's not one of the best players in the league. But you see why he didn't win Finals MVP last year. You see why he didn't win Eastern Conference Finals MVP last year. You see why Steve Kerr didn't play him off the bench in the Olympics. You're gonna put the fate of America and us trying to get a gold medal on the line with this dude when you got LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards on your team? I think not. And I think that just might be who he is. I think Nick Wright said it best. He's the Kobe Bryant of Paul George's. That is exactly who Jayson Tatum is. And unless he proves me wrong, and what I mean by that is going into the garden, playing the way he needs to play, snatching their souls, and taking this 2-0 lead and making a 2-2 series. That's all I gotta say about doing. Don't let them lose the series right now either, because then we're getting into territory where this is the second time you've done this in 3 years of losing home court advantage by losing the first two games of the season and losing. It happened to Miami 2 years ago when Miami made their run to the finals that they had no business making. Bang, what's your thoughts on Jayson Tatum and what you just think he is overall when it comes to other elite players in the NBA?
Man, he ain't beating allegations right now. I'll tell you that much. When you look at when you look at the fact that the last two games you've seen Jason Tatum in, and the ball was in his hands. Pause. It was the last possession was on him, and you look at the fact that on both possessions, Mikal Bridges took the ball right out of his hands. Um, that's not what you see out of superstars. Let's just one say that. You don't see that out of superstars, especially two games in a row. But the fact that they were up 20 points, 20 points in both games and lost like that as well, it don't look good. It don't look good for the Celtics to lose in that way. When have we seen a superstar or a superstar level talent in the playoffs where they're the number one seed be up two excuse me, be up 20 points and lose the game? If you are a superstar, and apparently the Boston Celtics supposed to have two on there too. But if you are supposed to be the lead dog, you don't supposed to lose like that. Now, granted, their offense leaves a lot to be desired when they're missing on threes and stuff. But also, man, you as the superstar got to tell your coach this shit ain't working. Let's do something else. And that's not happening either. So I know I made a video that I talked about last week that stated that James Harden might be the worst superstar of all time. People that you consider superstars. might be the worst. Jayson Tatum might be closing in on that.
Dante, what's your thoughts on Tatum?
That's a fine.
It's a super fun because I've been going in for a second and y'all just let me go. That's wild.
I
Um,
tried. I tried to hit your shit, but it said the host declined, so
okay,
I couldn't help you. Fam.
but no, I think it's an overreaction. I think it's a big overreaction, and I have myself been disappointed with Jayson Tatum. I agree. He does leave a lot more to be wanted, with his play, and you want to see certain things out of him, especially with the settling for threes. I hate the step backs when it's like, bro, we just need a bucket. Like, go get a bucket. You're 6'8" with a handle. Go down there, get fouled, shoot the free throws, do whatever. But don't just settle for 3-pointers like you've been doing. So that's frustrating. But I don't think to say like worst guy that should be a superstar. No, you got James Harden and plenty of guys out there who are, holding that mantle really strong. I think Jayson is
On his
just in
way
a
though.
situation. No, actually, I think he's won a championship. He can't get there. I think Jason's really in a situation where it's just disappointing. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? But like, unlike those other guys, we've seen Jayson get to the mountaintop, even though he wasn't, the Finals MVP. So for me, I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised because we've seen this from Jayson Tatum before. It's just another example that he hasn't turned that corner like some people thought he has. Because in these games, like you said, bro, it was the first game that they lost when they blew game one. They were up a dub. They missed 20 straight shots, and 19 of them were threes. At some point, as the star, the guy, you go get a bucket. Like, you drive to the rack, draw a foul, do something. I don't think it makes sense. I know this is how the Celtics play. They average, I think, 51 threes a game or something like that. So, when they miss, that's when they typically lose. They shoot themselves out of games, but they always keep shooting. This is what they've done all season. And so this was also, for me, this was a bigger knock on the coach. Like, bro, you can't draw a play up or nothing to get your team a bucket in this moment. You're not saying, hey, let's stop settling for threes, even though some of them are open, some are contested, some are rushed, whatever, bro. Stop shooting them if we can't make them. Like, it got to a point where, like, you could see the crowd gasping, and then you could see players on the Celtics, Jayson Tatum included, like, second guessing the threes they were taking, and they were just throwing up brick after brick. So, like, that shit is disappointing. But as far as hating Jayson Tatum, nah. I mean, I'm not surprised, disappointed, but I think at the end of the day, he'll have more great performances than bad performances when it's all said and done.
I mean, he need to have them great performances then. Like, it goes back to what Colin Cowherd was saying. What are the Jayson Tatum moments? Like, I can think of him, that LeBron dunk his first year in the NBA when they made these conference finals, when it looked like they were gonna knock off the Cavs, and then LeBron was like, I'm not losing to no fucking teenagers. And just went crazy the last couple minutes. Like, outside of that, I can't name any Tatum moments. Like, I can't think of any. Like, and that's the issue with him. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a good player, and I don't even want to compare him to Harden, because Harden is a shameless choker. Pause. Like, it just feel like Harden tries, he's just bad at it. Jayson Tatum look like he don't even try sometimes in these situations. Though we got a question here in the chat. Jason Andrews says, if the Celtics lose this series, will their team and championship be seen differently? I.e., they overachieved to take advantage of poor health in the league. I don't say last year's championship be like, because they steamrolled the league last year. So and even with the injuries, I mean, Tyrese Halliburton was banged up in that series, and honestly, I think Donovan Mitchell was the series before, but I don't think anybody would have put that team against them regardless. And then even with the championship, every year there's injuries. In every sport, there's injuries. But I do think that if they lose this series, and especially if they go out anything less than 7 games, there's gonna be some changes next season. They already got new ownership. They're gonna be a victim of the second apron very, very soon. So I think there's going to be some chat. We already heard the little rumors about bringing KD in, which we've already gone over that. Bang and Pav also thought that KD's not helping anybody at this age. And I believe that he can help some teams. I don't believe the Celtics are one of them. I don't think it's a talent issue with them. I think it's the niggas that they got aren't doing what they need to do. And then also we need to look at Joe Mazzulla, like you said, Dante. What does this nigga really do? I think they brought up the question on Levitar. Is he Doc Rivers Jr.? Because if they lose this series, this will be his second series in 3 years that he had home court advantage against the team that they had no business losing to and losing the first 2 games at home.
Man,
That's why I'm going to be interested to see it.
I don't even think dude Doc Rivers Jr. I think dude is just I don't want this to sound as bad as this might sound. But he was just a lucky coach in a lucky situation. Like Doc can coach. Like Doc can draw up a play. It might not work, but Doc can do that. I ain't seen shit that Joe Mazzulla has done outside of motivate or look at somebody crazy. But I mean, if you just look at it right now, if you look at everything that you see right now, he's not helping out this team at all. And to go back to the Jayson Tatum thing, the reason why I look at this a bit worse than the James Harden situation is the fact of everything that y'all just said. Like he is it feels like he's trying, except for I don't think it's not he's trying. It feels like he's trying, but he has no idea what to do. And you would think for somebody who's been in the position that he's in, like when you look at Jayson Tatum, this man has been to a number of Eastern Conference finals, like a number of them. He's been to the finals, he's won a chip, and you're still questioning if he has the championship makeup. That has never happened. Where you see somebody continuously go to at least the top of the heap in his conference, go to a finals, win one, and then you still see him wet the bed. That's crazy to me. That's why I believe they probably need another coach. Quite honestly, they need a Mike Malone type coach. Because maybe Jayson Tatum just needs somebody to do what Dante said that he should do to Deuce. Smack his ass upside the head. But it be in literal what you would consider championship type moments where you're looking at Jayson Tatum and he's lost. He does not know what to do. He's confused. And he needs somebody to hold his hand. And yet, what 5 or 6 in conference championships at this point? That's like that's like using John Elway for an example. That's like John Elway going to all of them Super Bowls, finally winning one, and then come back the next year and still wet the bed. We will look at that crazy. That's why this is just weird to me.
Catch I'm Not Gonna Hold You, hosted by Scott Lewis, every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, only on HNB Media and the Barber's Chair Network.